Okay. So I have the privilege of closing down our supplier forum. Thank you, Helen and Earl. We had changed the format of the supplier forum a bit for this one, more focused on networking, sharing lessons learned, sharing best practices, getting to know your peers at your table, and all towards advancing the vision of zero defects, to try to provide you with some tools that you can take back and use. So hopefully you found some value. I think reflecting over the last day and a half, we had some really powerful messages. Joachim Anderson talked about us being creators of value, really important, and why zero defects is important. Then we saw Thomas Mars share operationally how GKN has advanced the management of their operations. It was very impressive, and I think we can all take something away from that. We created a zero defects roadmap yesterday. We ended the evening with a networking event. Again, thank you to GKN for organizing. It was really nice to get to meet many of you in person. And then we kicked off this morning with a more detailed look at the tools that are embedded in the reference manuals that support AS 13100. So you got a chance to talk directly with some of the subject matter experts who actually created the reference manuals. They're very accessible, and I encourage you to reach out through the methods that Helen and Earl just shared if you have questions, further questions. One thing that we talked about today as well is that each of you is a change agent. And something that Helen said a few minutes ago was really powerful. You don't need to do it all right away. Start small. Pick where you have a problem. Start to gather those around you to solve that problem. Prove the value, and you can spread it and make it bigger and bigger and bigger, till eventually you do have a movement. So I would like to wrap up today just to thank you all for coming here. And a real special thanks to GKN for hosting this supplier forum. Ava Marie, Helen, you did a fantastic job. This is really hard work to put an event like this together. We really appreciate it. So a round of applause for Eva Marie and Helen on organizing. And the other thanks we need to extend to the catering team. The food was fantastic. The photographers who've been around us all the time for the last day and a half, and overnight produced the video you saw this morning from yesterday. So an amazing job to all of the support teams and the facility.
And we all like to look at pictures on ourselves. At least you can brag about them. So we will also publish kind of a little photo book set thing with pictures that, and if someone says, no, not on me, I'm secret, you have to turn to us and tell us now, please. Okay?
Thank you. So one more bit of practical information. GKN is hosting lunch for all of us. There will be lunch in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes or so. Encourage you to grab your lunch and come back and network. Use the opportunity. There's no rush to leave here. Unless you're off to catch a flight or something, you can grab a lunch to go. But we encourage you all to come sit. Let's talk a little more. Make sure that we've got your questions answered before we head off on our own ways and paths. So We leave you now. Safe travels to all. And we hope to see you in Portland, Oregon, in the United States in October for our next Supplier Forum. So thank you.